Well, we haven't counted all the votes yet. About half of the votes have been counted. We're in a good second place. The good news is we're doing very, very well in getting delegates. That takes a little bit of effort. You have to follow up, and that will happen. And that's the way. The one thing that we know how to do is get delegates. And believe me, things are going quite well. Just think of what has happened in the last couple of years and even the last couple of months.
Can you get a picture at some point?
The enthusiasm for the cause of liberty continues to grow exponentially. That's all great news, especially for you young people who need it and would fight for it. There's a lot of reason for us to be very optimistic, even though, like I've said so many times, the country's waking up, but Washington is still sound asleep. So our message has to be loud and clear. We have to wake them up, wake the rest of the country up, because we cannot continue to do what we're doing. That is what most people in this country know, that we cannot continue to spend money, borrow money, print money, and spread ourselves around the world like we are. That all has to change because we're flat-out broke. We have to admit it, which means, you know, what we have to do is not all that complicated. What we need to do is just get people in Washington to follow the Constitution, which solve all our problems. You know, it says in the Constitution that we have a strong national defense. It's a responsibility of the federal government. The president has a lot of responsibility. But right now, I don't feel like we do spend a lot on defense. We spend too much money on militarism, doing the wrong thing, getting ourselves in the trouble. And of course, one of the reasons is since World War II, we haven't gone to war in the proper manner. The Constitution is explicit. The people are supposed to vote through their congressmen, and the Congress is supposed to vote for the war. And then the president runs the war. The president is not allowed to go to war without proper permission. Since we're broke and we're $1.5 trillion in deficit every single year, why don't we stop spending the money overseas by bringing our troops home and stopping the war? And then, of course, the founders we know had a difficult problem with the monetary issue before they wrote the Constitution. They had runaway inflation with the continental dollar. So they were explicit in the Constitution. They said only gold and silver can be legal tender, and you can't print paper money, and there's no authority for a central bank, no authority for a Federal Reserve. Message out, believe me. But the large majority still is not with us about ending the Fed, but 80% of the American people now say that it's up to Congress to start auditing the Fed and find out what they're doing. Once they come around to understanding the monetary issue, if they're concerned about big government and deficits, it's impossible with sound money. Because you can't print gold, you can't spend the money, and therefore Congress would have to quit spending the money. And there wouldn't be the deficits. Guess what that would prevent? The financial bubbles. What would that prevent? The inflation. It would prevent, of course, the recessions and depressions and the weak economy and a massive worldwide debt crisis that we're facing now that cannot be resolved by doing more of the same things that created the problems in the first place. What should the federal government be doing? I said, we have to have, they should institute sound money, and they should give us a strong national defense. They should keep us out of these wars. But what else should they do? They should protect our liberty. They should guarantee our we take an oath of office to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Right now, we should worry a lot more about the domestic threat to our liberties than anybody invading this country. There's one thing that we can say. Our military is strong and efficient. Nobody would dare actually attack us. So therefore, that is taken care of. So what we need to do is quit going looking for trouble, invading countries, occupying countries, and we have to reject this notion totally and completely of preemptive war. Preemptive war is starting the war. We, as Americans, don't start war. We'll fight them if we need to, and we'll win them if we have to. We'll declare them if necessary, but we should not start the war.